Well, California is making a major push to reach hundreds of thousands of people who haven't filled out their 2020 census form yet. What are they waiting for? In today's current climate for social change, advocates say it's more important than ever to get a complete and accurate count. So here to talk about the challenges and the state's week of action is Director of the California Complete Count-Census 2020 office, Ditas Katague. Welcome to the show.
Great. Thanks for having me.
So first of all, talk about how many Californians have already responded to the census.
Well, California, we're almost nearly 63% of our households. That's over 9 million people, or 9 million households that have responded. We still have a long way to go, but we're doing pretty well. Here in Sacramento, we're at about 68.2%. So we're doing well here in Sacramento. And of course, you always have to compare it to how we're doing with the nation. California is still outpacing the nation in terms of those households responding.
Oh, that's great to hear that we're outpacing the nation, and this is Action Week. Why is there an extra big push right now for the U.S. Census?
Well, in normal times, the census would have been done by now. People would have been knocking on doors to get those last folks that didn't respond. But because of COVID-19 and everything we're facing, things have been stretched out because we've been sheltering in place and keeping our folks safe. So the U.S. Census Bureau, who is the federal agency that actually enumerates folks, have extended the deadline. So here at the state level, we're really here to promote and really educate folks to say it's not too late to respond to the U.S. Census. You can do it very easily. You can do it online, over the phone, or if you got it in the mail. And we just want people to know that it's safe as well. But because they've extended the deadline, people are like, oh, did I miss it? So we're just trying to get some energy around that.
Well, that's a good thing that there is still time for people to respond. Can you talk a little bit about why is California so difficult to count?
Well, as you know, in California, we have over 40 million people, and we're a diverse and beautiful state. That's what makes us so awesome. Well, we've got folks who maybe are lower income, or if they live in crowded units, like you would think about what would make somebody more likely to be missed. Say if you have a roommate situation, or there's that sort of additional dwelling in the back, people don't know that if you only get like one form or one, PIN number, you have to count everyone, regardless of if they're related to you or not. So it makes it harder because we have to do that extra education. If there are more people who speak additional languages than what the U.S. Census offers. They only offer languages in the form in 12 different languages other than English. And here in California, we speak over 200 different languages. So crowded units, folks just don't know about it. The other thing is the census only happens once every 10 years. So we got to educate folks about, what was that we have to do every 10 years and why it's so important.
Yeah, I think you make a great point there. It's every 10 years. You always hear about it. Talk about how important it is. The census, I've learned, can bring about positive change in our communities.
It absolutely can. It is the most inclusive civic engagement activity that we undertake. It counts everyone in our country, regardless of age, regardless of religion, regardless of race, ethnicity, regardless of their immigration status. Everyone needs to be counted. It's in our Constitution. And what it does is it results in really developing how the power and money and data, how that is distributed for the next 10 years. So the power piece is really about the 435 congressional seats that get reapportioned, but it also redistricts. The data is used to redistrict all the way down to your city council member, your school board member. And it determines whether my community has a voice. So if you're missed, they won't know you're here and they won't know that you need to be well represented. So that's really that power piece. The money piece is big. So people always go, what do you mean money? And I said, well, every springtime around April, this time it's extended through July. What do? We pay taxes. And there's this sort of electronic sucking sound from my bank account to the federal treasury. That happens every year, but only once a decade by filling out the census form, by making sure everyone's counted in your household. That's when we demand, hey, Washington, send those money back to our community. We have this many people, we have these needs.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.